Hey, it's the beer video. And no, that's not Helen. Helen is on assignment. She'll be back in 2 weeks. She is maybe in the air right now. She might not be. I can't say where she's going because we don't want her being accosted at a place where streets are hot. That's your hint. But what we have Zakk Weston with us. And I'll give a little bit of background. Zakk is the person I stole this idea from. Because Zakk, you were doing really old beers that I think anytime I watched your videos, I was really worried you were going to end up in the hospital afterwards. But you're here.
I am. Unfortunately, I did not end up in the hospital for any beer-related incidents.
Not
So
beer related incident, no.
yeah, early in quarantine, I think we're actually about the 3-year anniversary. As you were sort of missing contact with people, and you have a
Yeah.
couple Zoom calls, and you reach out to people, and it was nice and touchy feely. But it just wasn't sort of creatively fulfilling. So I had a bunch of. I don't cellar a bunch of beers. I don't have a bunch of beer collections, but I found myself with like, you know, 2 dozen beers of various quality and ages. And I thought, well, it seems like quarantine is the appropriate time to drink those. So even though I was really self-conscious about just talking to a camera in the evening, I just started going through my stash of old tenuous beers, and people really dug it, which was a surprise. So
Yeah. And people don't dig this. So, I mean, hopefully people will start watching. Hopefully people
people
one
dig
day will.
this.
By the way, this is the first, this is a new feature this week. From now on the video, I'm going to have a knife. It doesn't matter. I just have a knife. It doesn't, I'm not going to do anything with it. I just have a knife. We're going to put this away before I hurt myself.
Smart, smart.
Yeah. But the idea of the video, in case anybody's seeing this for the first time, is that we'll talk about the Ron DeSantis stuff later, but we're gonna drink beers because that's how we do it. And Zakk, since you are our special guest this week, why don't you go first? Because you are
Cool.
going to reprise the whole reason you were doing these videos in the first place.
I am. I'm privileged to have a small stash right now. I was just traveling a little bit, so
Saw
got to
that.
bring some
Yeah.
some cool stuff back. But I've been sitting on this one for about 2 years, and it itself is now almost 8 years old. This is a Founder's Devil Dancer,
Oh yeah,
which was bottled on April 24th, 2015.
that's an old one.
It is an old one. This is currently labeled as a triple IPA. I think at some point in its life, it's been labeled as an imperial.
Yeah,
Um, Put up at 112 IBUs and 12% ABV.
that's
And we
both.
will, of course, be drinking it out of
Of
droopy
course, droopy
glass.
glass. Yeah. If you didn't show up with the droopy glass, I would have dropped off this call.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct.
Yeah.
Absolutely correct. Now, let me turn it around. What will you be enjoying this fine evening?
Oh well, you go first,
Oh,
and then
you
I'll
do the
reveal
whole
mine.
schmear.
Yeah, yeah, you do yours first, and then I'll reveal mine.
All right. I'm going to crack it open so we know that I'm not faking it. It's a very real sound. And we'll gingerly pour it. This is a slightly different format than mine, where I was doing it, I think, on Instagram
Yeah.
Reels or whatever.
Right.
And those have like a maximum of like 45 seconds or something like that. And
And they're
so like
cut
I'd be doing
close.
this really great monologue, like, this beer reminds me, it would just cut off. I'm like,
Yeah,
well,
I'm back.
here we go again, everybody.
And you have to remember where you were and what you were saying. Yeah.
It's remarkable that I made it through. So all right, in the droopy glass,
Now that looks
been on
dark
for a
for a
few.
triple IPA. Now I know it's 8 years old, but that looks pretty.
Yeah. So give it a smell. It smells like I expect a triple IPA to smell.
Mhm.
Kind of fruity notes of. Here's one of my favorite things to do, whether you're drinking a beer or whiskey, is I started saying stone fruit. It's so broad. Like
Yeah.
a little, it's a stone fruit in there. It's pretty good. Mm. But a little apricot. Ready to go?
I taste the pit.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that is it's very effervescent. Probably way more than it was 8 years ago.
Yeah.
Um, it's sort of bright up front, and then it has a very caramel sort of finish. I love Devil Dancer when it was new.
Yeah.
The Founders Devil Dancer, Devil's Doom, or Founders Doom,
Yeah.
coming out at the same time was really, really dangerous. I don't remember it tasting quite like this, but as anticipated for 100 or 112 IBUs, triple IPA, it's held up very well. to sitting around for 8 years.
Yeah, so that was beginning my question. I was just gonna ask that because I know most IPAs you shouldn't age, with some exceptions, because like a 120 minute you can age. Is this one that is recommended to age, or is this one that was a mistake to age?
So I picked up this at a bar restaurant in Altoona, Pennsylvania, and they were doing some cellaring. And so if they were doing it and selling it at a very reasonable, I should say, markup, I think it was probably recommended, or at least not. There was no fear
Sure,
to putting this
sure.
in the basement. So
And I asked that just for context, as that you did do some beer videos where you were like, I should I shouldn't be drinking this beer. It's
um,
very old and I shouldn't be drinking it.
the beer video started in quarantine, but
Yeah.
drinking beer I shouldn't predates that by a few years. I was working
Yeah.
at an ad agency, and the agency had done the campaign for Iron City when they went to the aluminum bottle, went
Oh
back to
yeah.
the aluminum bottles.
Yeah.
And I was around in the basement one day, and I found like an Iron City and two icy lights, like aluminum bottles. And again, at this point, like 12 years old, something like
Oh,
that from the campaign.
yeah.
And I was so excited. I was
Yeah.
like, I can't wait to drink these with coworkers. And
Yeah.
the creative director at the time, who was I think I texted him, I'm like, oh shit, I can't wait to drink these. And he was like, hey, heads up, make sure it's beer, because when we did the shoot, we got props from
Oh,
like
okay.
whoever,
Yeah.
and they said don't drink it. And this person said, well, what's in there? And they just said, don't drink it. So we sort of like tenuously opened it, like you heard the sound, like
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
so good, like bubbles, and bubbles are good,
Yeah.
smells like beer. And I'm not saying that 12-year-old Iron City was better than fresh Iron City, time and a place,
Sure.
right? But
Sure.
contextually, it was one of the best beers I've ever had.
That's amazing. To me, I was thinking about the episode of Seinfeld where Kramer opens up old movie theater and the old hot dogs are still there. That's immediately when we made that. I can't talk. I don't know what's going on. It
Why
must be
bother? Why bother talking?
why bother? By the way, I could be struck by lightning at any second now because I'm sitting in front of a window. And
It's remarkable you say that, because the dog's being very good, because there's not currently any thunder. But if
yeah,
that happens, I may have to go on mute, because she'll let you know. She'll let you know.
sure, sure. That's the thing I miss about having a dog. Um,
And what a dog! I know we've messaged a little bit, but man, what a lover!
yeah, yeah. Just it's weird,
I know.
but we have beer, and
We
so
do
I
have
picked
beer.
this. What's that?
Oh, I was agreeing wholeheartedly. We
Oh,
do.
so I picked this beer up at Liberty Beers, the site of our great Migration Fest beer run. That
Too many.
yeah, but this is called Clown Fog. It is brewed by it's a collaboration between Abomination Brewing and Heavy Real Brewing. It's a double India Pale Ale, double dry hopped with Nelson, the band, no, and Strata. It's 8.8% alcohol by volume. That's the can. It's gorgeous. It's got a weird clown. It's like a skull.
It's a good can.
It's a good can. And then we're drinking out of a Beast Mang glass.
Nice.
It has a piece of glass missing right there, so I could
Okay.
cut my lip right off.
But the Beastmang, that's been around.
Yeah.
Is the chip new, or has it always been there?
No, the chip has been there. I just haven't been using the glass because
Right.
I, again, don't want to cut my lip off. But this is a special occasion.
Special occasion. Yeah, I appreciate that.
So, if we need to cut a lip off, why not do it on the beer video?
While you
Already
pour,
this
I have a few snacks, so I'm gonna.
nice. It looks like how you expect. It's a little, cloudy. This is my beer video joke. Minimal head, which is the story of my life. And yeah. Ugh. Here we go. Let's well, yeah, it doesn't smell as pungent as I expected. I don't know what Nelson is, but
Are you getting any stone fruits on the nose?
I'm getting a little stone fruit,
Yeah.
Zakk. I'm glad you
Good.
brought that up. I was gonna bring that up. It's like it smells like a pit. Huh.
Go on.
Let me go back. Let me try one more. Let me try it again.
We're on your time. This is fine. So,
We're on Zoom's time and it's
hmm, I'm a little concerned by how little you have to say about this.
It doesn't taste like much.
Interesting. Now, when did you pull it? I mean, sometimes a few degrees can make a difference
It's been sitting on my table for about 15 minutes. It's not
for about 15
super
years.
cold. Yeah, it's not super cold. Um, it's the first thing that came to my head was clean. It tastes clean.
Okay.
Um, Minimally hoppy. I expected more hops. Again, I don't know what Nelson is. I should have looked that up. Um,
Well, there's two types of Nelson hops, right? There's Gunner and the one who's not Gunner, whose name I don't remember.
Matthew.
I thought it was Matt, and then I was self-doubting. So
No, you always trust your Nelson instinct. If I've taught you anything,
it's true.
let me try one more.
Please.
And again, like it doesn't have much of a scent. I mean, that's why I was really surprised because usually an IPA, I mean, you've had an IPA, they generally smell a little pungent,
Yeah.
It doesn't even taste that hoppy.
I tend to distrust an IPA that doesn't taste hoppy because if I wanted that, I would just have a pale ale, even an India
Right,
pale. But once you get into
right,
doubles,
right.
hazies,
It's inoffensive, let's put it that way. Like if you're somebody out there who's like, I don't like IPAs, they're too bitter, I don't like the hoppy taste, this is the IPA for you, I think, because it doesn't have a lot of that. I tend to like a pungent IPA. I got excited
agreed.
when I saw that IBU count on yours because I thought like, oh, that's gonna be nice and bitter. I don't think it has one. I don't think they've listed the IBUs,
You know,
because they're not existent.
friend of the show, friend of ours, John Kerr,
Yeah,
um, opined that really IBUs are actually a bad metric to even though they're the international bittering,
yeah,
it's a bittering unit. He's like they just don't really represent. It's like it's a science thing. Like legally you can measure that, but that doesn't
sure.
always translate into an actual
That's true.
bitter sort of
Yeah,
affair.
yeah.
And I trust him implicitly.
Who would? I mean, if we're not trusting him, then who should we trust? We shouldn't trust anybody. Um, but again, like it's minimal citrus. Everything's minimal. It tastes like a very muted beer.
Okay.
Um, if you wanted to have an IPA to guzzle, which is not gonna challenge
Oh,
your taste buds a whole lot. And I don't want to like give the wrong impression. It's not. It doesn't taste terrible. It's not a bad beer. It's just not exciting. It
sure. I
doesn't
mean, I don't
have
think they're
much of
sponsoring the show unless you've got something else to tell us. But you don't have to hedge the bet. We can
no,
badmouth them actively if we'd like.
fuck them.
I mean, hacky ass can art. What sort of late stage black flag ass can art is that?
That's right. What is this? Is this even beer? Oh God, is this beer? There's the question. It's definitely beer. It is beer. It's the last time I trust anything from New Haven, Connecticut. I bet you I got the Matthew instead of the Gunner hops. That's probably what happened. So I can't live without its
Love and affection.
and foam. I can't drink another night on my own. I don't remember the rest of the words.
Gave up your. Oh, it's better than drinking alone.
Ah,
Yeah.
mm.
What was the other one? Love and affection, and
Oh, did they have another one?
I think they had two.
Did they? Okay. I don't know. I don't remember. I
Only I
can't
were on a
remember that one.
computer.
What's that?
If only I were on a computer and could look this up.
Where this computer
After the rain. It was after the rain.
after the rain. All right, I remember that now.
Yeah.
Yes, I remember that
Get
now.
that copyright strike on us now. That's good.
Oh, there is a copyright thing that this goes through on YouTube. It's
Oh,
always
good.
every week it's terrifying. So I'm like, fuck.
I'd like to think that the Gunnar and Matthew, now that we remember both their names, are going to be pretty cool about this.
I think so.
Unless they developed that beer.
Well, I think if there were two identical skull clowns on the front, I'd be worried. There's not.
Can
You
we
might be-
segue real quick? Have you had, we're talking about famous people's beer. We're talking about skulls. Have
Yeah.
you had the Stone Cold Steve Austin beer?
I've had one of them, yes. I
It's
think the
not
original.
bad. Like it's
No,
it's
it's not.
it's like bordering on pretty good.
Yeah, it's
The El
not. Yeah.
Segundo, is that what it was called?
Yeah. I was
Yeah.
gonna do. Yeah. In fact, for WrestleMania weekend, I was gonna do the new one, but I found a different beer called Luchador that I liked, and so I did that instead. But there's always next WrestleMania if there is one. We could not be here. Who knows? Zach, we could be gone.
It's very, very true. How'd media go for you?
What's that?
How did you enjoy the
We don't have enough time on the Zoom call for me to exercise. Day one, the first night, one of the best wrestling nights of my life.
okay?
Night two, the total opposites. Night two was done, and I was like, "Fuck this shit."
There were a lot of headlines the next day that were just like, "Hey, tell me Vince is booking again," without telling me that Vince is booking, and like reading the recaps, like, oh no, oh no, 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 I've been doing this since 1990.
There was one match on night two where they had a three-way match for the Intercontinental title, and it was fucking amazing. It was just like three big dudes beating the shit out of each other. It was great. It was like 17 minutes long. It was perfect. It was done. I actually yelled out loud when the match was over. And I'm like, this is what I want.
Comma.
Comma.
Yeah.
Then I died. And then we all died.
Yeah.
Zach, I'm going to ask you some questions. You don't have to answer. You can plead out. You don't have to.
I'm here. I'm here for it.
The Pyrites LP is out now.
It is
out. Anything you want to say about it other than go fucking buy it?
I mean, absolutely go fucking buy it. I know you know this, but like working with Adam and being on Gilead, a label that you and I both drove to Oshkosh, Wisconsin to celebrate, many years ago, is just rad, and to be amongst other rad bands. The vinyl took longer than expected through a combination of natural disasters and things out of everyone's control. But I think both colorways are outstanding, and we're still really proud of it.
Yeah,
it really is a culmination of a bunch of us just coming together as a band and making something that we all really felt compelled by. Yeah. And I don't sit and, I don't put it on a lot. I do sometimes, like mowing the lawn. Like, yeah, still hold up. And like honestly, I'm still really, really proud of it. So I think the vinyl is gonna be a really cool format. The art's amazing. It sounds so fucking good, and it looks really, really rad. So thank you for bringing it up.
Reddish and yellowish one, like whatever. I think it's like a
blue, green, red, yellow. I think.
Yeah, I got the red, yellow. Yeah, well, cool. Not yet. I mean, it hasn't shown up yet. But yeah.
You didn't get them both. Ugh.
I'm sorry. I'm feeding children here. I'm not. I have no kids. So the other thing, can we talk about the other thing that you do that's with the synthesizers, or do you want to keep that a secret?
Absolutely, the Gothies.
No, God, we can talk about Gothies too. No, I'm talking about being in the dungeon, and
yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Being a shitty wizard. Low Cunning, everybody. If you're not familiar with Low Cunning, I did wear the shirt on the video a couple weeks ago, so go look for that.
Thank you so much.
What do you got going with Low Cunning now? What's
we're recording, and again, if anyone's not familiar, we call it dungeon synth. It's not. It's dungeon synth because I'm in a heavy metal subculture. That's the only real reason it's dungeon synth.
It's the only reason I use that term. Yeah.
It also has no real meaning. So it's I think what are we calling it? False dungeon synth and untrue chip tune. Somewhere in the middle, it's this fake video game music thing for sort of a role-playing game. Low Cunning is the title. It's about this shitty wizard.
The shitty wizard.
Who lives too long and is very bad at his job.
Which we all are.
Well, some more than others. And yeah, it's one of those things that for years, very kind. Thank you. And shout out to my buddy Gage, who did a lot of the design work. He did that cover, a lot of the interior stuff. The complete the pins are gone. I can get you more pins though. It's fine. Look at you, man. It's good. So whereas Pyrite is this really, you're sort of fighting for it really is like very much a brotherly sort of thing. Low Cunning, no one can tell me no, and it results in some of the stupidest nonsense. And I've been wanting to do it for years. I had riffs for years, I had demos for years, and I finally got serious about it. And people seem to dig it, for better or for worse. And so all those pins, all those stickers, the shirts. So what's going on right now? We're writing the third full length. We got probably about 20. Me and my alien symbiote have about 20 20 sort of riffs down. And what will happen is we'll get up to about 40 or 50. We'll throw almost all of them away and start from scratch and write the whole thing in like a month, probably late summer. I am currently, as of today, putting together some reissues. So the first record will be reissued on zip disc.
I saw that. Yes, I saw that. That's incredible.
For people who think that a floppy disk is just too played out, I did get I borrowed from Corey from the Gothies. Now we're wrapping it all together.
Yes.
A working zip drive, and I like flattened them all and wiped all the old files off of. Someone was using them as backups, and I've got a little I got a little template down. And the bit for this one is that was the second album you were showing. The first one had a full hint booklet with it.
Yeah, I that's over my other shelf. I would grab it, but
that's fine. But because the zip drive is smaller, I actually want to redo them, but like this big, like a small booklet.
Yeah.
So it'd be the exact same package, just much smaller for the zip drive. So a few weeks out for that one. If the zip discs sell, I'll probably do the other reissues as a zip as well. And it's self-aggrandizing and foolish, but again, no one can tell me no, which is the worst possible scenario.
It's the fucking best thing in the world. I think
I love it. I really do love it. So
and Helen, who normally is on this video, she loves it. Her partner is fucking insane over the moon about Low Cunning. And once we get off this call, he had a question that I'm not going to ask you on air, but I will ask. It's not that bad. It's just he asked about this, and I was like, I don't know. I'll ask Zakk. I'm not really sure.
That's amazing.
Yeah, but
I'm always because like Pyrife, we are very very blessed to people listen to, and like I love that. It is unexpected. The response very finite. It's not thousands of people, but you're still like, wow, people, which is cool. I'm compelled to do it, and that's the weird thing. I wish more people were doing this, so I'll do it. And there are other like-minded people, which has been very cool to see.
It's not only like the music's awesome. I love the music, but it's funny as fucking. I mean, and knowing you personally, like every time I get something different from Low Cunning, I'm like, this is 100% Zakk. So I'm not surprised in a way just because I know you, but it's always fucking hilarious. And
thank you. I'm always curious, people who don't know me, like how it plays. So
it seems to be playing pretty well. Yeah.
It honestly seems to be playing pretty well. So
yeah. Fucking amazing.
Thank you, man.
Well, that's been the beer video. We're not gonna make fun of Ron DeSantis this week. Just throw his book in the trash. Yeah.
Good. It's like shooting Donald Ducks in a barrel. But
it's like shooting meatballs in a barrel. Yeah. I will put up the links on this video to if people want to find Pyrite, the Gothies, and Low Cunning. And I would have brought the Gothies record in here, but it's literally in the other room in our non-metal shelf because I have too much. This room's out of control, so I had to take all the metal records out of here, put them in the other office, and so now my whole room's just metal. So the Gothies are in there. I would have grabbed the Gothies record, but you're just gonna have to trust me on this one.
The Birds, the Bees, the Monkeys, and the Gothies was the last, I think, full length on that one.
Yep.
So if you like the Monkeys, and but I wish they had a little more Bauhaus in them.
Yeah,
I got a great project for you.
Yeah, and you can find a link to this somewhere. I'll put it on the YouTube and on the Facebook. Yeah,
down below.
Yeah, we don't do any. We do no production, Zakk. We're not working here. This is gonna go up in its raw form. It's too late.
I want to do one of those TikToks where you're like, if you like beer, metal, toys, wrestling, we have to start adding that stuff into the.
Too old. I'm too old. I don't feel like learning.
Definitely not.
I'm not doing it. Hey everybody, it's been the beer video, and Zakk, thank you for being with us.
Thank you so much for your hospitality, including me.
I love you forever.
I love you forever.
Nobody can stop.
Next time I see you, I'm going to give you that Mr. Bungle shirt I've had for 3 years.
I know you won't. That's okay. I'm never going to see it. It's fine.
You say that.
All right. I love you.
Love you.